Both names definitely sound familiar. It must be tough having two Mikas in the same band.
Yeah. We need to use the family names to separate.
I know.
Guys.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris. Today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have RAT BOOGIE, and they've got a new album called Bad Gravity, which was released on August 14th via Secret Entertainment. Right now, I'm being joined by Mika to share some more information about what the band has got going on, what they've been up to. We're going to chat about a couple of tracks here. So, Mika, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Great to have you on. Now, speaking of things that have been going on, with coronavirus going around, obviously it's probably changed some things for you guys with regard to shows and tours, but I'm curious, did anything else change? Like August 14th as a release date for the album, has that been pushed out at all, or have otherwise things been somewhat going to plan?
Yeah, there have been quite a lot of changes in the plans. For example, the whole of the springtime is really quiet for us, and we were not really able to finish the recording because during some months it was impossible to actually gather together to finish the recording. So that was one problem for us. And maybe, gig-wise, it's been really quiet, and it still is. So, for example, the release of the album happened like today, which was great, but we weren't able to actually get anything like a release gig or release party together. So that's still like coming up in the next few weeks. Hopefully, it's really difficult to arrange these things these days around here. I'm sure everywhere. So those were just a couple of examples how things were a bit difficult, but we got the record done, and that's the most important thing for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you guys do that? How did you guys finally get the recording done? Was it just doing it independently and sending it to somebody to mix, or how did it happen? Yeah,
well, just the final touches and the final mixes, we just had to do them together finally during April or May, when it was safe enough to come together again. So we just did it, and then somebody else did the mastering and the rest of the mixing in another city. So that's the blessing of technology these days, and we can do these things in different places, and it still works.
This is very true. Yeah. Now, one of the things I dug about the record, I remember I got the email from Yoni. So Yoni, if you're listening, hello. If he's not listening, then that rat BOOGIE. And I remember listening to the track, and my wife said, "This is so your jam," and I was like, "It's killer stuff," and it's even called Bad Gravity, and there's an astronaut on the cover, and she just kind of rolled her eyes, and I was like, "This is amazing." So I just wanted to kind of like a bold question, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into it. What does Bad Gravity mean? What was the decision to what's the album about? Is the album about bad gravity?
I don't know. I'm sure to an English-speaking person it can mean different things, but remembering we are operating from a Finnish point of view, it might have a little bit of different meaning, I guess. But I don't think it's a theme of the record in any way, but there might be something about, thinking about gravity as something that's like keeps us down in a negative way, maybe. Maybe like makes us old in the end. Some of those themes are available in the lyrics if you want to see them that way. And when bad gravity might also mean something like when the gravity doesn't work in some situations in life, you feel like you're floating around in the air, or you're lightheaded or very happy or something. So that could mean that too, I guess.
Okay,
It's just
very cool.
Name. It's just a name. Yeah.
Just a name. Perfect. Okay, now there seems to be quite a few tracks that are getting videos because initially we have Wonderboy, we have Another Day, Another Night, and then also as well you mentioned The Unbearables and Down River are also going to be getting videos. So I guess my question is, why so many videos? I mean, it's not a bad thing, obviously, but normally bands are very selective about tracks that get music videos.
Yeah. Well, the two latter ones, they are still very much in progress and not ready at all. But they are. It's just fun because the fact is that we have been doing those videos just by ourselves with the help of the technology available these days. So it's been really simple and it's been really like fun group work, and there haven't been any other like producers or cameramen or or directors of any kind. So it's been another one of those group efforts. It's been really pleasurable, like thing to do together and try to figure out some sort of pictures to go with the music. And it's just good fun, and it seems to be more interesting to people these days if you have some videos accompanying the music. So
yeah,
we are not great experts in any of that, but it seems to be like a fun thing to do. So
well, yeah, and especially during this,
so nobody can stop us.
Nobody can stop you, bad gravity on the Rat Boogie, baby. Now, something that speaking of, a lot of bands are making videos. It can be also pretty hard for a lot of bands right now to be making music videos because it's hard to get together, get the film crew, rent the spaces, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. How are you guys able to continue making videos during this time?
The video for Wonderboy that was made really quickly during one afternoon, or it was filmed during one afternoon in May. You can still see some Finnish snow there that still hadn't melted at that point of time. So the filming was really quick, and then just editing that was made, home, just like basically mobile equipment. So that's what you do these days. And the video for Another Day, Another Night was filmed in small pieces at our homes and just edited together. So it's just the idea was to make like small, like fun videos, no big production, nothing grandiose, just nice little things.
Yeah. Now, Wonderboy, what is this track about? Are you the Wonderboy?
No, absolutely. Well, I might be one of those figures that it tries to depict, because it's about. I was thinking about some friends of mine who just stubbornly keep on doing what they do in music, and they play these small gigs like we do, and they arrange the festivals and they have all the events going on, and they never really get any credit or never really receive any money for it, for that matter. So it's just a song of encouragement for those people who are like important part of culture, a bit like unsung heroes or something. That was the idea.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Now, is that a theme that runs through the album, or is it just on an individual song for that concept?
I'm not sure about the theme. Maybe it's more like one-off thing. I'm not sure if the album has a unified theme, but if you think about the lyrics, there might be something about like the everyday struggle and the expectations and relationships and society and things like that. It's very much rooted in reality, more than any kind of fantasy or any kind of fantasy world. So that's my inclination when I write.
Okay, so I guess going into a couple of the other tracks, Another Day, Another Night. What's this track about?
I guess it's it's a bit about the old Woody Allen joke that he sometimes tells, that life is like a very poor restaurant with terrible food, and then there's somebody else saying, and such small portions. So, it's a bit like, it's terrible, life is boring, and you have to get up every morning, but still you're complaining, but you take it. You take another day, another night, because it's life, and you're happy with it anyway. So I don't know, but that's how people feel about every day. Most of the days, I guess, it's boring, and it's like a feat going through it all, but it's still life.
This is true. I mean, you guys are even vacuuming in the music video for it.
I'm sorry?
You guys are even vacuuming. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was one idea, maybe the starting point of the whole video, that we are doing this every day, like chores. And I'm not sure if there is anything else left of those. Maybe my friend Mika Säkkinen vacuuming there. Yes, you're right. Yeah. I remember trying to repair my car or something, but it wasn't included in the end.
Yeah. Well, kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if this is on purpose or not. Maybe I'm trying to make meaning where there is no meaning, but it seems like in the track listing we've got negatively themed tracks and then positively themed tracks. So, like, for example, Another Day, Another Night, then Downriver. It's not Upriver, Downriver. Then some kind of light. So we've got some light, but then we're going back to the unhappy world. But then we're going to dance the light away. But then we've got the cold sun. It kind of seems like there's this up and down. Is that something that you guys did on purpose, or am I making meaning?
Maybe you're making more meaning into it than we were. We were more thinking about the musical rhythm of the whole thing, and the lyrics. Well, I don't know. They might be more meaningful to you as an English-speaking person, but you're probably right. Yeah. There's some nice variety, but that's a good thing, I think.
Okay, perfect. Now, 12 songs, pretty long album. I'm curious, because for a lot of bands, especially today, there's a choice. We could do singles, we could do EPs, we could do an album. And I guess my question is, why come out with a 12-song album?
It was decided quite early on that we are going to make a long play. We started with an EP 2 years ago that was 4 songs, and that's also available on Spotify and things like that. But I don't know. We just had lots of songs, and we still have quite nice ones that weren't included, plus the new ones that keep coming. So we are good in that sense. And 12 songs, well, they are not very long, so it's all right. It's about 40 minutes, which used to be, I don't know, maybe the standard length of an album. So we are, in that sense, I guess we are a bit traditional. We like the long plays more, and we understand the meaning of singles these days, but we are not really a singles band.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, is there a plan to go vinyl as well?
Vinyl, yes, there is a small number of vinyls ready at the moment. So, but just a very, very small, like a box full of vinyls, just for friends, and a few of them to be sold at the local record store. But yeah, vinyl is great. And I think the material on the album is fine for vinyl pressing as well.
Okay, very cool stuff. All right, well, Mika, I believe we've covered just about everything. Any questions that I had? I'm curious. One last question is, now that the album has been released, quasi middle of the year-ish, what should we expect for the rest of 2020 from RAT BOOGIE?
The rest of 2020 will be some gigs locally and within Finland. More of them coming, I hope. Only a few of them arranged. There will be some new songs that we'll be working on. We are working on them at the moment. And so hopefully, maybe within a year, there will be another release from us. I find it quite plausible that it will happen during the next year. And we are still sort of happy to try to find the best songs floating in the air around us. And maybe we are a trio. We are a trio format, like classic trio band. So we are figuring out maybe some sort of addition to that sound too. So on the album there are quite a lot of keyboard additions, and they seem to work quite well. So there might be another direction for us too. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Now, is there anything you wanted to chat about in the interview that I did not bring up?
Well, how are things in Canada? The rock scene, the music scene, is it totally stopped, or is it getting better there? Or
still stopped. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's around here, it seems to be all right during the summer, but at the moment it seems that there are some marks of things getting worse again. So nobody's really sure what's going to happen with the COVID. So that's one thing we need to think about.
Yeah, what's on everybody's,
whether we want or not. Yeah.
Yeah, what's on everybody's mind right now, and I'm sure it's probably pretty similar for you guys as well, is that the kids go back to school in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. We have started already here this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We traditionally go early September, so.
Yeah. Well, I hope it will be good. Nobody knows, really.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going well in Finland so far.
Yeah, so far so good. But it's been a little bit, frustrating, the whole thing. So. But we keep trying, and we keep working on the material and playing, and that's the most important thing. That's something we need to, maybe I would like to point out that during the recording of the album, we maintained the basic idea of playing live. So everything, the core tracks there were all played live together. So maintaining that idea is important for us, and we love playing together. So that's something we'll be continuing doing no matter what.
Okay, very freaking cool, my good man. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
No problem. Thank you for having us.